Hello everyone, welcome to Even the Scales. Thank you for clicking on my video today and I hope you're all having a good day. I'd also like to thank everyone that has supported me on the channel. Thank you so much for viewing my videos and your likes and comments. Thank you so much. My name's Donna and today on the channel I'm going to talk to you more about the abuse that I've been going through here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. First of all, though, I would like to do an acknowledgement of country and first acknowledge the Dharawal people, who are the true custodians of the land that I bring you these messages on today. I would also like to pay respect to elders, past and present, as well as extend my respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people who are watching this video today. For those of you who haven't watched any of my videos before, my family, the majority of the community here in Campbelltown, the police and other authorities have been carrying out very cruel mind control abuse on me now for over a year. I've had to create these videos to save my life. It's as simple as that. There is no help whatsoever. And this is because this is all a part of a police cover-up. The police, the justice system have teamed up with the health system to do this to me. The health system is holding back very, very important information about my health that I need to know. They're just hoping that that condition will get worse before I find out what I need to do to help that condition. It is thousands of people against one person. There are so many people involved in this cover-up, in carrying out the abuse on me, and it's just so unfair. The balance of power is just ridiculously unfair. It's thousands of people against me. And the justice system have made sure that I have no help whatsoever. Absolutely everybody is involved in this. So I mean what I say when I say that I have had to create these videos to save my life. It's being done, this abuse is being carried out on me to drain me of my will to live, or to cause me bad health, either mentally or physically, or even death. These people don't care. They just want control of my life and they want me gone. And this is because there are people working in the justice system and the health system and people that have been involved in carrying out this abuse on me for over the past year that don't want to be held accountable for the atrocities that they have committed here in Campbelltown, New South Wales. There is a camera in my home where I'm watched 24 hours a day. The justice system are allowing the community to watch me in my home. This is so they can come up with creative ways to carry out abuse on me, and also so that they can have control over my life. So it is not just the police that can watch me in my home. It is also my family members who are also involved in this. People in the community, just random people in the community, the people who live close to me that are involved in this are watching me in my home. And also abusers from my past are also watching me in my home. My devices are also hacked, and all of these people can also see everything I do on my devices, every single thing. So this alone would be enough to drive someone to having a mental health breakdown. And this has been going on for over a year for me. I've been speaking out about this though more and more, and the truth's getting out. More and more people are watching these videos, thank goodness. So there are limited ways now that these people can get to me to carry out abuse. I've been speaking out about the disgusting ways that my human rights are being abused, and also about the damage that's been done to the environment here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, because of this abuse that's been carried out on me. The police here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, the local police, actually signal the community with their siren every day. They stalk me to let the community know that it's fine to continue to abuse me. They do that to try and make the community think that they are still in control of the situation. And they also do it to cause me fear and anxiety as well, and just to try and affect my health. Because the conditions that are being hidden from me by the health department are conditions that can be very much aggravated by the nervous system and stress and anxiety. And I have severe PTSD already, and these people know this. I have limited ways that I can move around now, so I'm practically being held hostage right now by the justice system because of this. They are hiding crimes that police officers have committed and members of the public. One of those crimes that a police officer has committed is a very violent and disgusting crime against women. And they're also hiding a pedophile. I also spent 10 years, the last 10 years, dealing with family and domestic violence. They do not want the public knowing about how they handled those calls when I needed help from them over the past 10 years. They do not want the public knowing how they responded, and that's because domestic violence is such a huge problem in this country right now, and they definitely don't want people knowing how they responded because it was really, really appalling. I was treated like I was the criminal on some occasions. On some occasions, my calls were not even followed up. On some of those occasions, the police that showed up actually ended up talking and joking with my abuser when I had called them and needed help because I was being abused. So these are the different things that they are hiding. There's also the fact that my family has stolen an inheritance from me, and the justice system have helped them do that. So this is why my family members are so involved in this. They're also covering for a pedophile, and that pedophile is connected to my family. They don't want the truth about that getting out because I reported that pedophile in 2020 and they've done nothing about it whatsoever. And that's just all been a part of the psychological abuse that's been carried out on me. Right now, as I sit here right now, I have a neighbour abusing me, and I'm going to get to that in a minute. They didn't want me to do this video. They were abusing me the whole time. I was trying to prepare what I was going to say. So the abuse that's being carried out on me is very cruel. It's all psychological abuse, but the thing with these neighbours is that it's actually shifted to physical abuse now because what they're doing is actually affecting my physical health a great deal. I'm either mocked because there's people watching me in my home, and I get people that mock me when I go out or around my home because they've seen me do something or say something in my home, and they get ideas on how to abuse me when I go out. So I have people mocking me. I also have people trying to traumatize me because they have done research on me to carry out this abuse, the justice system have. They have gone back over my past, contacted every single person from my past, it seems, and people have given the justice system information, including my family, to carry out abuse on me, including all the traumas that I've been through. So a part of this abuse is for these people that are stalking me to abuse me is to either mock me or try and put me through traumas that I've been through in the past, so that I just keep, going through heartbreak day after day over the same things. They must have gone back to people in my past and collected information that I have not even thought about some of these people for like 40 years. But I can tell by the information that I'm watching people, use to carry out abuse on me. And I can tell who that information's come from. And it's come from people like 40 years ago, 35, 40 years ago in my past that I haven't even thought of. So why these people thought they were relevant in my life, I have absolutely no idea. A lot of them have lied too, because I don't know, they may have been jealous of me. They wanted to see me hurt. I'm not sure. They wanted to keep people away from me, maybe. I know my family members have done this because they have stolen an inheritance. They did everything that in their power to keep people away from me. So a lot of these people have told lies when this information has been gathered. The justice system know everything about me. I mean, the justice system know the tiniest detail from something that happened 35 years ago in my life. They know. And they're using things like this to carry out abuse. The people that are involved in this abuse that live close to me, they have started affecting my physical health. They are carrying out abuse in very, very sneaky ways. They're also carrying out psychological abuse on me and have done for over a year now. These people have done so much. You heard of that show Nightmare Next Door? I am surrounded by people like that. These are cold, callous, cruel people who are trying to take my life right now. Because they have done so much to me over the past year, they are panicking and they are just working around the clock at carrying out abuse on me. You've probably seen some of my posts if you do watch my channel, some of my videos that I've made prior to this one. I've gone into detail about how these neighbours have been using smell. They are controlling the air that I breathe in my house, which is really quite scary. They have a way of being able to send these smells into my home. For a couple of weeks there, they were sending the sickest, most disgusting food smells into my house by heating food, and it made my home almost unlivable. Over the past week, they've been using tobacco smoke. Now, the health condition that I have, I don't have the full details of it. I have details of some of my health conditions, but I know that there's something going on where I cannot tolerate toxins. I used to be a smoker myself. I still love cigarettes. But then I got to the point where I couldn't smoke anymore because they were just making me very sick. So it's like this with this tobacco smoke that they're sending into my home. It really, really affects me. Like this morning I got up, I felt like I had been smoking myself. The smell is that bad. You know, not only the fact that they're affecting my health, they are affecting the contents of my home because I don't smoke. I mean, I don't smoke. Even when I smoked, I used to go outside to smoke. So they're sending my home yellow. And last year, I actually had to spend 5 weeks in hospital. And I know now why when I come out, my walls were yellow and my clothes were yellow in my wardrobe. And this is because these neighbours were probably doing this back then. But anyway, they are really affecting my, like it's gone beyond psychological abuse to cause me stress. It's actually affecting my physical health in a really big way. And this is why I'm speaking out about it, because this is serious. This is really, really serious. These people are trying to end me. 24 hours a day, I have people who live within meters of my home. They've been trying to do this for over a year, but because they're panicking and they've done so much, and they were also expecting a lump sum of money when I got sick or passed away, they are just panicking and they are just doing anything they can. You know, I shouldn't have to put up with this. I'll go to bed of a night and they'll start putting this cigarette smoke through my home. so that I've got to breathe it through the night. These people are controlling the air in my home, and that is pretty scary. I don't know what they think. I mean, if something happens to me, there is that much evidence out there now in the world about these people. I've accumulated that much evidence on this channel about what these people have been doing. I don't know what they think is going to happen. Like, if something did happen to me, these people would be up for murder because of the evidence that I have provided on this channel. I've been fighting for my life from these people for over a year. I don't know why they can't see that. I think they just think that if something happens to me, that it's all going to go away. Maybe they're going to say that this was a hoax. Believe me, this is no hoax. This is no hoax, and I want people to know that. I want everybody to know that, and I don't care if I've got to get on here and create a video every day about it, because this is no hoax. This is very serious. I'm fighting for my life here. There's no help whatsoever. The police are involved in this. I can't call police for help. This is what I get from people. I get, oh, you should call the police. I can't. The police are involved. You should go and see a psychologist and tell them what people are doing. I can't, because I've had psychologists involved in this. Everybody, the health system has teamed up with the justice system to do this. While I was writing this out, these people watch me in my home, these neighbours. They watch every move I make. They are obsessed, beyond obsessed. These people stalk me aggressively to the point where if they are doing something and I can hear them outside doing something, and I go on my device to look up something or do something on my phone, they can see my devices as well. And I will hear that person actually stop what they're doing to look and see what I'm doing. This is how close they watch me. From the second I get up, they are carrying out abuse. Even through the night while I'm trying to sleep, they are carrying out abuse. These people are working around the clock. And as I was writing this out, it was like they were like, quick, we've got to hurry up and something's got to happen to her, before she gets this message out. And they're just like sending the tobacco smoke into my house all morning, just trying to cause me a health episode really quick so that I don't put this information out. This is how desperate these people are. The police are involved. They stalked me. They stalked me this morning. They actually did a round this morning just to let everyone know it's okay to keep abusing. They do this every day, and they have done this for over a year. This is the Campbelltown Police Station. They are corrupt at that police station. And I don't know what they think either. Like, I don't know, maybe the justice system just think this is all going to go away, but there's way too much truth out there now. But something tells me that that's the plan that they have, just to say that, I was schizophrenic and that this is all a hoax. But please no, for the people out there that have been following this channel, I am telling you the truth. This is no hoax. I'm doing this to save my life right now. And yeah, I've built up a very strong culmination of information. It's not just something that's happened overnight. This has been going on over time. There is strong evidence of what the police and these cruel, callous people have done. Some of these people, when they're caught, they will be up for attempted murder because of how much they have tried to work on taking my life and making me sick. And I'm surrounded by them. It's not like it's one or two. I'm surrounded by these people. They do things to try and trap me. Last week when they were putting the food smells through my house, I was calling out. I was begging them to stop. I had no other way. My landlord's in on this. I was begging these people to stop putting this smell into my home. One of the neighbours that was responsible for that actually prank called an ambulance the next day and told them that they'd heard somebody heard me calling out in my home, like trying to make out that I was crazy. They prank called an ambulance to my home, wasted that ambulance's time. The ambulance drivers, they must have been above board because they come in and they believed me straight away. They said, look, we understand, you're having problems with your neighbours, and one of the neighbours did it. And I said, yeah. So, that call will be traced. That call will be traced. And then straight after that, that neighbour tried to cover their tracks like these people just like they do too much. After they prank called the ambulance, they put a false report in to my landlord and said that I had threatened their life. It is not in my nature to threaten someone's life. That is nothing like me. I would never do that to anyone. That's why I have created this channel, so I can handle this in the most mature and logical way that I possibly can, so that all this built up frustration that these people cause me, I can let out on this channel and tell everybody what they're doing. So yeah, on the same day, this neighbour that had abused me for a week straight, all night, and because I'd called out and begged them to stop doing what they were doing, because it made my home unlivable, they prank called an ambulance and tried to make out that I was calling out in my home like I was crazy. And then they put a false report in and said that I had taken threats out on their life. And then the landlord, they're involved in this. They tried to gaslight me by then handing me a warning. The audacity of these people is unbelievable. Handed me a warning saying that they do not tolerate antisocial behaviour. But I kept my cool. They told me to rip up the letter because, I spoke to them about it. I said, look, that is not me. I am just not the type of person to go around threatening people's lives. This person lied, and I'm sure they'll be caught for that as well, because it all happened. I'm putting these videos out. It's not going to take much for investigators to, connect these false calls that have been made to ambulances and to landlords. So yeah, then the landlord tried to gaslight me by saying that I had displayed antisocial behaviour, but they ended up telling me to rip it up. They did, just rip up the note that we sent you. There's one neighbour that can only get to me by coming and standing underneath my bathroom window. When I go into the bathroom, it's pathetic. It really is. And because they know that my family are involved in this, and I had to be separated from my grandchildren and my children, which absolutely breaks my heart every day. This person goes out underneath my bathroom window and talks loud enough to, I don't know, family members, and that what they'll do, they'll just say like, love you and things like that. And they do it on purpose. Like, this person places themselves in that position because that's the only place that they can get to me, is underneath that window. It's really pathetic, how low these people stoop. It's just really, really pathetic. When I go out, I'm still being stalked by people. I went to the shopping centre this morning. As I said, I'm pretty restricted with the things that I can do because I'm stalked on the road. I have people trying to cause me accidents and incidents on the road. These people are tracking me. They're watching me on camera in my home. So they see me leave the house, then they're tracking my vehicle, they're following me on the road, trying to cause me accidents, delays. Then when I get to the shopping centre, I have people come towards me to carry out cruel psychological abuse. And I don't know whether all these people are watching me in my home and getting these creative ways to carry out abuse, or if there's just some people watching me in my home that are putting this information up on an app or a website somewhere. Because it's like these people are treating this like a game. It really is. And it seems to me like it's the person who does trigger me, the person who does get to cause me a mental health breakdown, gets some sort of prize. That's what it seems like to me. And it's becoming more and more clearer every day that it's something like that. It's like they're on some sort of app, or they're playing some kind of game. And the justice system is seeing all this happen. They are the instigators of this. So they've obviously employed somebody to do this to me. I'm being, just provoked, abused, and traumatized just almost every minute of the day. And the neighbours here, they try and provoke me because they want me to yell out. They want to be able to call an ambulance. They want to be able to call the police on me. The police provoke me. I'm just being provoked. That's why I created this channel, because it is very hard to control your emotions when you're just being provoked like this in very, very cruel ways too. I'll give you some examples of how people try to provoke me and trigger me when I go out. I've had family members break into my home and steal my journal. All the information I wrote down in my journal, 2020, 21, 22, and 23, 4 years worth of journaling. These family members broke into my house, stole all that information to use to carry out abuse on me. When I've been out, I'll get people try and get close to me. Now this is just random people know this information. It's been put up on a website somewhere or an app, or I don't know how these people know this, but they do. They know these details of my life, and they try and get close to me, and they say and do things to try and trigger me. So I've had people, when I've walked past them, these were actually staff members of a store, and they said something, oh, like so-and-so read my diary, so that was meant to trigger me. So they're getting this information, and then they're waiting till I get close to them, and then they're saying things. This happened to me again this morning. I had my eye makeup out this morning, doing my eye makeup, and I had tweezers there as well. Somebody's seen me doing this. So when I went into a shop, they walked past me and they said, I'm just getting the tweezers, and like, if I say anything about this, I will look crazy. But I'm very, very intuitive, and this has been happening to me for over a year now, and I know that these are stalkers. I can pick the stalkers straight away. Yesterday, I was in my home and I was just doing something, and I realized that I had gotten the date wrong. I had a woman talking to another woman that got close to me this morning, and they had been listening or watching me in my home. They knew that I'd forgotten the date yesterday. I think I thought it was the 19th and it was the 18th. And they said something about that when I got close to them. So this is what they're doing. They're getting information from watching me in my home, and then they're taking that and trying to abuse me with it when I'm out. Now, I would like to see someone else be provoked, mocked, traumatized, and abused 24 hours a day, and then not have, small mistakes like that being made in their life where they forget the date. I'm constantly trying to save my life 24 hours a day right now from these people. You know, the date isn't like the first thing that I'm concerned about. So I would like to see somebody else try and cope with what I'm coping with. And then, you know, to be mocked for something like that and abused, like these people are just so heartless. And the world is such a sad place right now. It really is. It is such a sad place. These are mature people doing this. When I went out this morning, I was stalked by hundreds of elderly people. They're doing this because I've been through a lot of abuse from older people in my life. And, you know, I'm getting old myself, but these are people older than me. And this is why they're doing this. And these people are just stepping up to be a part of it. And it's just unbelievable how sad the world is right now, to think that these elderly people in our society that are meant to be, you know, setting examples. They're meant to be people that have wisdom. They've lived their whole life, and then they're actually taking opportunities to go out and bully someone who's never hurt them. I'm a good person. I don't deserve any of this. And yet I've got all these people coming towards me to carry out this cruel abuse. And I just, I don't know, the world is just such a sad place right now. It really is. It's really opened my eyes up just to see just how toxic people are. They're still stalking me on the road. As I just said this morning, they tried to cause me delays and accidents when I was out. So there's still all that unnecessary pollution and noise still being created out there that I spoke about on the last video. I can't even go to my letterbox without someone stalking me. They're constantly still sending vehicles up the street, not quite as many, but they're still doing it. Yesterday, someone seen me go to my letterbox and they stalked me as I went to the letterbox. So this is how aggressively these people are still stalking me. And yeah, all these people, you know, I've got all these people watching me in my home. It's either tens or hundreds of people. I don't really know. It seems like it's hundreds. And I've got all these people willing bad health on me. They're all willing death on me. These people want to see me dead because there's some prize in it for them. I don't know if this is some sort of scheme where people have invested in this. I don't know, but it seems to be something like that. And I think people have just done so much and they've probably invested a lot of money in this. And, you know, me still being here is just not an option. I'm definitely not, it's not an option for these people. Like I definitely wasn't supposed to still be here now. So this is why they're trying to just prolong this cruel abuse, just hoping, like the justice system are, and these people, they're just trying to prolong it, just in the hope that I'm just going to drop dead any second. And then they just think they're all just going to walk away from this. And, you know, this is an appalling violation of my human rights. These people are watching every move I make in my home, and the Campbelltown police and the justice system are condoning this to happen to me because of these disgusting police and members of the public that have committed crimes that they don't want to be held accountable for. That's the whole reason this is happening to me. I want this device gone from my home. I don't care if I've got to get on here every day, and I don't care what it takes. I want this device gone from my home. I want this abuse to stop. These people have no right whatsoever to do any of this to me. They actually zoom in on my journaling through this camera. They are able to zoom in on what I'm writing of a morning when I journal. They zoom in on all my personal stuff that I'm writing about. I've noticed this because when I go out, I will see them carry out abuse, psychological abuse on me, that they have taken from my journaling that I have wrote that morning. They also send lookalikes of my abusers. As I said, they were using old people today. And I just can't believe how many old people are just so cruel and heartless and unwise. I can't. They must be really, I don't know, money hungry or something. There's a store that I go into that abuse me every time that I go in there. They do. And on the day where the neighbour put in the false report and then the landlord gaslighted me and said that I had displayed antisocial behaviour, on that day I went into this store and what they'll do, they'll put calls over the loudspeaker or they'll play certain music to carry out psychological abuse. On that day, they put over a call and it said, "We do not tolerate any antisocial behaviour in our store." Now, once again, I'm going to look crazy if I say anything, but it's because the justice system have gone to such big extremes to carry this out. There are large organisations involved in this as well that must have invested in this. And, they're just going to say that it's just circumstantial. We wasn't doing that. She's crazy. But I'm not crazy. This is what these people are doing to me. They'll also play music as well. They'll also, I mentioned how this store abused me last time I made a video, and then they put a call over the next time I went in the store, and it was, "We care and respect our customers a great deal," So they're playing with the things that I say, the things that I mention on these videos. They're watching these videos. They must have someone watching me in my home, and they are carrying out abuse according to that. I mentioned in a comment yesterday on my YouTube account how my family members actually have pretended that I'm already passed away. This is what my family did. They stole my inheritance and then they just decided to purposely isolate me, stay away from me, and they just pretended that I didn't exist anymore. I did nothing to my family members to deserve any of it at all. I was good to all of them, but they have stolen this money. And, I was the weakest link. And they've stolen my inheritance. So this is why they are so invested in being a part of this and for this to work on me. So yeah, they treat me like I've already passed away. And I actually wrote a comment about this yesterday on YouTube. And so when I went into the store, they played a song that was about someone who, do you feel that you've already been buried alive? So this is the kind of cruel psychological abuse that I have people putting me through when I go out. And yeah, of course, if I say anything, I'm going to look crazy. And that is the whole idea of the whole thing. The justice system and these organisations and, I don't know, they must have carried this out on other people in the past. They must have and got away with it because of the extremes that they have gone to carry out this abuse. And most of the abuse is happening to me in shopping centres. So it really does make me wonder about some of the incidents that have happened in shopping centres in the past where people have got hurt, people have gone crazy with weapons, because this is what they're trying to do to me. When I'm out, there is not a second goes by when I'm not being provoked by the store that I'm in, just people trying to get close to me to carry out abuse. This happens to me in the shopping centres, in shops, in the car parks, on the road, all the way there and all the way home. These people just try anything. They do. They will try anything. They're hiding information about my health, as I mentioned before. And when I go out, they will also play mind games about that. So they will carry out psychological abuse in ways where it'll make me worry about, I have my very strong suspicions about what I think has happened to me. I feel like I've had a stroke in the past, and I have strong reason to believe that. And I also think there's other things as well that they're definitely not telling me. And they will carry out these mind games when I go out to try and make me worry about those things. It's like they're waving those things in my face saying, look, like, we know this is wrong with you, but we're not telling you what it is, so you can go and get the operation done, or so you can, make yourself better. So they're doing that as well. They will just try anything to get into my energy. And, aside from these neighbours trying to send toxins into my home and affect my breathing, affect the air I'm breathing, when I'm in my home, they send prank callers towards me. I mean, I know everyone gets them, but these people are calling me and they are mentioning someone's name that's like an abuser from my past or something like that. They're doing it in ways like that. They will put things in my letterbox to try and trigger me, to try and get a reaction out of me. The police stalk me every single day to signal the neighbours that it's okay to abuse me. They'll send me fake texts. They will, when I make comments on other people's YouTube accounts, they will put fake comments in the comment section for me to see, that are there to psychologically abuse me. They control the ads I see on my social media, and they use those ads to carry out very cruel psychological abuse on me. There's no help, as I said, there is no help from anyone right now. My landlord's involved, my family's involved, there's several groups involved. I don't really know what groups these people are a part of, whether they are religious groups, charity groups. I'm not sure, but I'm being stalked by several groups. I was being stalked by people in utes, like a ute club or something like that. I think I'm also being stalked when I go out by a lot of the people connected to the hospital setup that I went through this time last year. I'm being stalked by a lot of these people's friends and relatives, I think, because they don't want to be held accountable for what they have done. I will leave a link in the description box about the 5 weeks that I spent at the Campbelltown Public Hospital, where I was put through severe psychological abuse and held there against my will this time last year. I will leave the link in the description box if you're interested in going and look at the details of that. I will also leave a link in the description box of another video that explains the details of how police handled my calls when I called them for help over the past 10 years. I have creeps, obsessed, dangerous people that have no problem with taking my life right now, watching me in my home. I don't bother anyone. I'm an innocent person. I'm being treated in such disrespectful ways, and my privacy is being violated in sickening ways. My family are watching this. They are watching me go through everything and just waiting for me to die. They just go through life just pretending I'm already gone. They do. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much all I have to say today. I really want this camera gone from my home. That is my main concern right now, the way that my human rights are being violated. So this is why I'm going to continue to speak out about this. If these neighbours continue to put this toxic smoke into my house, I'll be back on here this afternoon telling people about it, because it is very serious for me. It is. It's not like I'm being petty. I mean, I'm an ex-smoker, and I used to love the smell of cigarettes, but I can't tolerate it. I can't. They are really affecting my physical health in a way, yeah, that's very worrying to me. So, yeah, it's extended beyond psychological abuse from these neighbors now. They are affecting my physical health in a really big way. If there's anyone out there that works in a field where you can help me in any way legally, or if you can recommend any advice to me, I would really appreciate your help. There's no one here to help me in this town. Everyone is involved. The justice system have made sure of that. If I do reach out to anyone, like I have reached out to well-known people in the public eye for help, that are that help people for way lesser things than what I'm going through. Way lesser things. But for some reason they're not helping me. I don't know whether they've been bribed or if they have just been told that they can't help me because it's the justice system doing this to me. So yeah, if anyone can help me, please let me know. I will leave my email in the description box. Please contact me if you can. Please, if you've watched this video to the end, tell your friends what's going on here in Campbelltown, New South Wales, because these people have done this to people before, and who knows how many people they're going to do it to in the future if we don't let more people know about what's going on here. If you can, please like or share the video. It just helps the video to circulate out there on YouTube so that more people see it. So thank you so much again for watching, and I will talk to you on the next one. Bye for now, and God bless.